Well, ladies and gentlemen, Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney. Yep, that is right. She is suing Disney. I did not expect to see this news drop today. This is really quite big. Now, it's quite big because there's a chance she'll win. I know, like, a lot of people disagree with that, but there is a chance. But it's not just that, it's the negative PR for family-friendly Disney and family-friendly Marvel. It is that PR. This is really big because that is horrendous PR. One of their biggest stars, the one which they promoted as, oh, it smashed streaming record, people loved it, boom, we're suing you. I am suing you, this big star that people, that Disney lorded over. Yeah, it looks terrible. It's not a good look for Disney's sake. Now, the news initially dropped over on the Wall Street Journal. I'm not paying for that. So obviously, I've got a Variety article here. Now, they state that in a lawsuit filed Thursday, today, in Los Angeles Superior Court, attorneys for Johansson alleged that the star's contract was breached when the studio opted not to debut the film exclusively in theatres, a move they claimed depressed ticket sales for the Avengers spin-off, and much of Johansson's compensation was tied to the box office performance of Black Widow. If it hit certain benchmarks, bonuses would kick in. Now, do you remember Godzilla vs. Kong and Legendary in June? They almost went to court with Warner Brothers about their decision to put everything on HBO Max. There really are firm standpoints here for these breaches of contract. It hasn't happened yet because there's clearly been back deals settled to stop it going to court. This could be the one which makes headlines as actually the precedent going on here. Breach of contract is very serious. Contract law is like black and white, generally speaking. Quite literally, because it's black and white, on paper. Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of the agreement without justification in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realising the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel, the suit reads. And now the thing is about this is actually, it's not the same as Godzilla vs. Kong. The time period of it being set and where it was situated for release within the pandemic. This was when theatres were open in the UK. We had one of the strictest lockdowns in all of the Western world. Don't believe me? Google it. So, in terms of the breach of contract and them releasing it, I think she's got a really firm standpoint here. Now, Disney announced in March that Black Widow would premiere simultaneously on the studio's subscription-based streaming service for a premium $30 price as well as on the big screen. The move was made as the theatre industry was rebounding from COVID-19 closures and capacity restrictions on July 9th. Black Widow set a pandemic-era box office record with its $80 million debut in North America and earned an additional $78 million overseas. It also pulled in $60 million on Disney+, or so they say. Ticket sales steeply declined in subsequent weeks and currently stands at $319 million globally. It bombed, basically, putting Black Widow on track to become one of the lowest-grossing Marvel movies of all time. Like, that is a bomb. That's not for Marvel. That's a bomb. And they've sat on it for a while, so I'm sure investors would want their money back as well, in fairness. But shortly after its debut, the NATO, so the National Association of Theatre Owners, the industry's main trade organisation, asserted the simultaneous release of Black Widow in theatres and on streaming cost Disney money in revenue per viewer over the life of the film. It's a no-brainer. However, the suit notes that Disney's stock actually rose after the company disclosed the rental figures. Disney chose to placate Wall Street investors and pad its bottom line. This is all the suit. Rather than allow its subsidiary Marvel to comply with the agreement, the suit reads. To no one's surprise, Disney's breach of the agreement successfully pulled millions of fans away from the theatres and towards Disney Plus streaming service. It's a pretty damning suit. It is pretty cut and dry. Now, the Wall Street Journal, which broke the news of the lawsuit, reports that sources close to Johansson estimate that the decision to release the film concurrently on Disney Plus resulted in $50 million in lost bonuses. She was due about $50 million. That's mental. Because there was actually a response from Disney. They don't normally do this, but they responded, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, the suit continues, right? Oh no, sorry, the attorney made a statement to Variety saying it's no secret that Disney is releasing films like Black Widow directly onto Disney Plus to increase subscribers and thereby boost the company's stock price, and that it's hiding behind COVID-19 as a pretext to do so. This is really big fighting talk. As a PR, this is a disaster. It really is a disaster. Now this is what the attorney said to Variety. But ignoring the contracts of the artists responsible for the success of the films in furtherance of this short-sighted strategy violates their rights, and we look forward to proving as much in court. This will surely not be the last case where Hollywood talent stands up to Disney and makes it clear that whatever the company may pretend, it has a legal obligation to honour its contracts. I mean, she's done. Scarlett is done with Marvel. Like, she's never working for them again, very clearly. And she knows it, and she's like, right, you screwed me, I want my money back. Basically. I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked. But anyway, here's Disney's response. There is no merit whatsoever to this filing, Disney said in an unusually fiery statement. It is unusual for them. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of COVID-19 pandemic. COVID. That's their excuse? Oh, we breached the contract because COVID. I mean, shut up. What are you on about? You cannot hide behind that, because it wasn't at that point. Everything was open. Things were open. Give people the chance to go and see it if they want. If they don't, then they can go and buy it on Blu-ray later down the line. Like, what's the deal? You can't break contracts just because COVID. Come on. Oh, good lord. I have no sympathy. I've got no sympathy anyway, but seriously, that's just ridiculous. The company went on to state that the star has already received $20 million for her work and argued that the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. I think she wanted that $50 million, mate, to be fair. $70 million would have been a good payday for her to come off the back end of Black Widow. Disney did not provide any information about whether or not Johansson's pact was renegotiated so that she could share in streaming rental revenue. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like it, does it? Oh, it's such a disaster. This is such a disaster for Disney. It looks terrible. The thing is that they ride or they ride or die on their reputation, and this is really bad for their reputation. It looks atrocious. It looks real bad. Yeah, this will be very interesting to see how this goes. Disney's currently fighting 2 lawsuits. They're being sued by the original writers of Predator for the rights back. And now Scarlett Johansson is suing them as well. Mental. So she's done, obviously. She's never coming back, is she? Let's be honest. And her attorney's going out in fighting force. Like, seriously. Insane. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. Let me know down below. But very clearly, it's not the success. It's not the roaring success that they made it out to be. Really, it's not. She wants her money that she's owed as well. And I'm all for people... Like, people scoff at the numbers. They're like, oh, fuck, 20 million, she should be happy. If she's owed more, she's owed more. Like, it's contractual obligation. Some people would look at what you earn and say, well, that's too much, you know. You should just be happy with that. But if you're contractually obligated to more, you should get it, you know. Don't hate, you know, what was it? Don't hate the system, don't hate the player, hate the system, or something like that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm not down with the kids. I'm tired. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. You stayed this long, you clearly enjoyed the video. Guys, I've also got a PO box. Send me stuff to Unbox here on the channel. It's going to be a thing that we now do. It's in the description box. Do it. Love me some sour candy. Send some stuff for Jasper too. He's gluten intolerant though. Sorry. Cheers. Take care.